Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and every now and then we do a segment called "Black, White, and Politically Incorrect," and I get to do this segment with a woman I just love so much, Miss Susan Patton, aka the Princeton Mom. How you doing today, Susan?
I'm good. I love you back, boys. You know that.
Absolutely, and people get mad at me because I think you're so great, and because I'm so nice to you, and I think it's funny because some people think that in order to represent your interests, you have to go around with a sledgehammer hitting people upside the head, and I just don't believe that. I
Well,
actually appreciate and respect the fact that you will have conversations a lot of white people won't have. And I think that and so really when people tell me like they say, well, why do you even talk to her, Boyce?
why
Well,
do you talk to that white woman? I hate that. I hate when they say that.
Well,
I hate when they say
it's sad to me because you don't gain, you don't grow when you only talk to people who agree with you,
agree with you. That's
right?
right.
If in fact there's this old saying that says if you never if you never try to do things that you won't do or can't do, then you'll never become more than what you are.
Well,
So my goal is to become more than what I am by understanding other perspectives. I can disagree with
absolutely.
you all day. I even fight with you, but that doesn't mean that I should avoid talking to you
Agreed.
because that's not really gonna get us where we want to get to. Now,
Agreed.
what's funny though, I'll say this, and you can tell me what you think. I do draw the line with things like Fox News. I don't talk to Fox News, and the reason I don't is because I don't feel when I go on the air with Fox that it's a constructive dialogue. I don't feel that Bill O'Reilly has me on his show to try to find some understanding
Right.
as you would, right? If you host the show, if you were the host of the show, I'd come on your show. But O'Reilly, I feel the goal is to sort of attack and to embarrass and humiliate and just now
I
you
don't
now
disagree.
I
I
know
don't
you're a fan,
disagree.
but you see what I mean. There's a
I
difference
don't
to me.
disagree. I don't disagree. And I happen to love Fox News. I'm on Fox News regularly. You know, I love Tucker Carlson. I love
Yes.
Melissa Francis. I love Kelly Gasparino. I love, Elizabeth McDonald. I love Neil Cavuto. But I agree with you that O'Reilly is sort of a flamethrower. He's sort of an antagonist. And, I can't say that I've been impressed by the manner in which he comports himself or the way he treats his guests. He did a segment a couple weeks ago with George Will, who I adore. I love George Will. I think he's one of the smartest people on the planet. And it was just such a disrespectful exchange of just the hatred, it just seemed like. I'm not impressed with Bill O'Reilly. Let's say that. Not impressed, but I do love Fox News. Um, watched the debates last night. My God, it was like, popcorn, friends over. It was a very big deal to watch those debates last night. Uh, no,
Really.
but you know that I agree with you that it's so important that we have conversations, particularly the difficult conversations. Here's what I find an impediment to communication that's useful. Because we've talked about this, I read every comment that's posted about us on the
Which I do not do.
okay.
The comments will drive you crazy, just so you know.
Well,
But go ahead.
I read every comment, and although I am certainly appreciative of people like, hang with me, VV814, TR Fearson, Malafa, Will B, Sheila White, honestly, Kia, Rel 250, Wayne Brady. I hope it's Wayne Brady, who I know Wayne Brady. That guy,
The real Wayne Brady, you
I
think?
hope it's the real Wayne Brady. I hope so, because he's a smart guy. He's got it right.
He is smart and he's very talented. He's
He's
probably
got it
actually one
right.
of the most
And he posted,
underrated talents out there, along
and
with
he
David Allen Greer. Go ahead,
right,
please continue.
agreed, agreed.
Okay.
And he posted something that was meaningful, that was smart, that had substance to it. Broderick Russell, Mason Lionel, Maximus Lyricus, Sean Wright, Hadassah one of my people. Here's what troubles me: that so many of the comments are just reflexively disdainful of me because I'm a white woman. It troubles me that I am so regularly in the comments called a racist. I am not a racist, unless maybe I don't even know what it means to be a racist. Let me give you my definition and then you can educate me. You could tell me where am I missing the mark here. I think of a racist, the pejorative sense of a racist is someone who believes that black people are intrinsically less good than white people, that black people are just less than. I don't think that. I don't think that. I've never thought that. Do I think that black people and white people are different? Yes, I do. I think black people and white people are different, and most black people would agree with me. Uh, but racist? A racist is someone who looks to diminish and demean and subjugate black people. I don't do that. So here's what troubles me. I believe there are racists out there. I believe that there are people who hate black people, who look to diminish black people regularly, who will take every opportunity to subjugate, to put down, and to harm black people. I'm not one of them. So here's what's troubling. You call me a racist? It makes me think, do you honestly not know who the enemy is? Do you really not even know who the enemy is? Wake up. Wake up. You're going to call me names? I'm one of the good guys. I would look to help you where I can. You're laughing at me, Boyce. Why are you laughing at me? Do you honestly?
Well, look, I know that you're one of the good guys, but I also know that you're probably a racist. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. First of all, there's always a conversation about the difference between being a racist and just having prejudice or some sort of racial bias. Prejudice, racial bias kind of links to hearts and minds, preconceived stereotypes. I think there's something's wrong with you because you're Asian or because you're whatever, right? Racism focuses mostly on a system of oppression where you kind of have a stratified society where people of color on one level, everybody else is on the other. And the thing about racism that's interesting, and this is what's important to understand, is that many of us are inadvertently victimized by racism, and I'm talking. I include you in that group. First off, the most destructive racism in America is systematic racism. It's where you have institutions that have been in existence long before black people were invited to the table, but they are built upon a set of norms and standards and expectations and value systems that are consistent with white Americans, but not so consistent with black people. So if I'm that black student who comes into Princeton University, your beloved Princeton, I'm going to have to go and deal with Woodrow Wilson's name being on the building, even though I, as a black person, if I'd been at the table when that decision was made, I probably wouldn't have voted Wilson on, to have his name on the building, right? And so as a person who is coming into the system long after these norms have been established, I'm still going to be affected and to some extent mildly oppressed by these things and sometimes severely oppressed, especially if I come in and I say, well, this is wrong, this guy was a racist, here's proof, and people say, yeah, but it's Woodrow Wilson, come on, George Washington, people like that, same thing. So let me continue, let me finish, and then I'm going to zip it up and let you
Go ahead.
give your point of
Go
view on
ahead.
this. And so here's the other thing. Many people support racism, they support racial systems without knowing that they're perpetuating this. Just by saying, I support the way this institution is run, you're supporting racism if there is structural racism in that institution. It's almost like, I guess, if there is, if there, let's say that there's an infestation of some virus in the building, and that's what racism can be kind of be compared to a virus because it kind of lies within the fabric of our society. And let's say that I say, well, you know what, I understand we want to eradicate the virus, but I love this building, I don't want this building to go away, I want us to keep
Right.
working in this building. Well, some would say I'm indirectly supporting the perpetuation of this illness or of this virus by not fighting the virus at the foundation. What really needs to happen for some institutions is they have to be torn down and rebuilt in a form that's more equitable for that fairness to come about. So effectively, my final point on this is that you can have structural and institutional racism even if there's not a single racist person in the building. So let's say you're in the Middle East and you meet somebody who says, I don't like America," and you say, "Well, why don't you like America?" I'm an American. I'm a good person. I don't want to hurt you." And they say, "Well, because one of your country's drones blew up a daycare and my child was in the daycare. So I'm really unhappy about that because you never should have done that." So someone could say, "But I didn't do it. I didn't fly the drone and do whatever." But they could then say, "But yeah, but you gave the politicians in your country the money and you agreed to allow them to engage in a foreign policy that has been hurtful to other people. So you're indirectly supporting this institution by not." And here's the thing: when I tell you that the group that or the institutions you support are hurting me, and you still support those institutions, then how am I supposed to perceive you? Are you simply innocent because you don't want these effects to occur, or should you be held accountable for the fact that you've not taken that step of sort of speaking against or challenging these institutions that are engaging in this hurtful behavior? A lot of people in America will support racist institutions, but swear all day that they're not racist, and that's the big problem that I tend to
I
see.
understand.
So go
I
ahead, I'll
understand.
let you say.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Now, when you say that I am supporting these institutions by giving them money, supporting the United States by giving the United States my tax money, I have no choice. I have to pay my taxes. I have to pay my taxes. I
you,
choose
you,
to
you
live in
don't
this
I mean
country.
you have to pay your taxes, but you don't have to sign off on US foreign policy and overlook the things that we're doing that are hurting other people. And that I think that's because here's the thing: a lot of white folks who are good people, I really believe they want to be good people. That's the difference between me and some of my friends. They really think that racist people just get up every day and say, I want to just hurt some black people. I don't think that's true. I think most racist people really think that they're good people. They really think that they're not hurting anybody. And that's the funny thing about oppression, is that sometimes you don't realize what you're doing to other people because you're not the one being affected by the
I
actions of
understand.
powerful people around you. You understand?
I
Well,
understand that.
it's
That except I think that each of us, in our own way, suffers some degree of oppression on some level. Whether you're a woman, whether you're an elderly person, whether you're a person of color, there are inequities in every system, everywhere we go. You're telling me that no matter that I'm going to be called a racist unless I stand up for black rights?
Well, not so
It's
much
not.
about
It's
black
not right.
rights, but I think
It's
it's
not
a
right.
matter of, I
It's
think
not
it's a
right.
matter of, it's empathy. It's all about empathy, right? Now, again, there's very little incentive, I think, most of the time for whites to really care about these issues. They don't have to, right? I mean, the only incentive I can think of really honestly most directly is America is a better country when we create equal opportunity, because then you're letting the cream rise to the top. You're sort of washing away some of the sins of the past. I mean, I'm talking about really washing them away. It requires a deep scrubbing, not some artificial cleansing to get there. A deep scrubbing means re-examining every dimension of this country's history and rewriting that history in a way that makes sense.
No.
Yeah,
Listen
I think
to
it
what you
does.
just
I think
said.
it
Listen
does.
to what you just said. Rewriting history. There's
Yes.
nothing more fraudulent than the
No,
idea
no, no.
of rewriting
No, no,
history.
no.
Every
No, no, no. Rewriting history can be a good thing if the way you rewrite it is more accurate. If you are, if you're going back and you're saying, okay, we've been supporting a bunch of lies up until this point. Let's go back and re-examine this. It's like I'll give you one great example: the atrocities of Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in 1922. The way history wrote up that whole incident was a lie, a lie. They went and
oh,
they murdered all these black people, took all their stuff, and pretended like the black people were the ones who were getting out of hand while they're dropping bombs on people's houses and taking their property. Well, you need to rewrite that history. Rewriting that history means going back and examining the facts
I see
and
what
and
you're saying.
and, and really reclaiming what actually happened, almost like a murder case, right? You convicted the wrong person, so how about going back and convicting the right person? That's what
You
rewriting
don't really
history
mean
means in this
rewriting
context.
history because history is history. The truth is the truth. You're talking about telling the truth in a way that maybe it's never been told before. Uh, coming to terms with what really was the truth. Maybe that's what you mean. To say rewriting history, it hits my ear as let's just make up stuff.
No, nothing fraudulent. No, no, no. I'm not talking about things like,
Forgiveness.
I'm not talking about things like, let's pretend like the Holocaust didn't happen. No, I'm saying truth. That's it, just truth.
Right.
And
I'm
that's
with
the
you
thing.
there.
We
I'm
haven't had
absolutely
that.
with you. I totally understand that there are inequities in the system. There are always inequities in every system. But the idea that anyone who doesn't work towards somebody else's good is a racist? No. I've got all I could handle on my own plate to maintain what I need to maintain to get through every day and to do what I can for my children and for my family and for my class and my college class. I'm president of my class. It's unreasonable for anybody to be throwing insults like this at someone who isn't aggressively looking to harm you. I don't understand why our viewers are so they're so freely engaging in name calling. I'm not a racist by my own definition, and I recognize that you and I are maybe coming at this from a the perspective of a different definition. I'm saying to me, a racist is someone who goes out of their way to hurt people of color. That's clearly not me. And you're basically saying a racist is anyone who doesn't go out of their way to help people of color. I'm saying
It's not so much about helping. It's
unreasonable.
a no. It's not so much about helping. Helping is a good thing, right? I think it's important to do that if you care enough about the issue. If you care about this country, then you'll help, in my opinion. But what's what I'm talking about is that you have millions of people that support a racially biased structure.
What does that
Support
mean? What does that
institutions.
mean? What
What I
does that
mean, what it means is that every day, just by virtue of the way of doing things, the way things are done, the supporting, for example, old boy networks and corporations making decisions in ways that they've always been made. You're excluding black people because remember, this system was not built with black people in mind. It was not built to empower